Howdy.
At the family reunion, who
No,
we introducing? Who we introducing?
not family
This is
reunion.
Dr. D, and she's way smarter than me.
Cat. I wasn't expecting that. I didn't know you
She
wrote a
probably
song.
graduated with a 5.3.
I had a 3.8. That's not as great. It's not it was magna. Yeah.
Oh, you can't graduate college with anything above a 4.
Oh, so then yeah.
I'm
I
talking
feel
about
like
high
I'm proud
school.
of
You know,
my little
people
3.85.
people in my high school GPAs was
Weighted to the gods.
put mine to shame. I was like, I'm just happy I'm here.
What was your graduating GPA in high school?
Well,
It's a safe space.
it is. Like okay. So nobody told me when I was in high school, nobody told me that like cuz I played basketball. So I was always under the impression that if you good at ball, like fuck school, you just go to college. Like you good at ball, whatever college like they're going to pick you right up. They didn't tell me
Hmm.
that you had to get accepted to the motherfucker. You heard? So my freshman year of high school, I had like a 1.7 and my coach was like, "So you just not going to play?"
Right, because you need
Because
a certain GPA to
you
be
need
on
a
the
2,
team.
like, I needed a 2.0, and I ain't even have that. A 2.0 is so fucking simple.
Was it like a D average? C?
Yeah, I guess a C, right? I don't know. Whatever it was, I ain't have it.
Mm.
I had an A in gym, though,
I bet you did. I was one of them people who never changed for gym, ever.
so you didn't have an A in gym.
I had a B, like a solid B. I participated, I just didn't change.
Why?
It was too much hassle because 1, I never could remember my gym locker combination. Never, like, never. And so, like, I had stuff in there, but, like and then because I had gym, whatever period I had gym, and then every time I had gym, the next class would be a science class, which would be on the 3rd floor. So you expect me to change my clothes and then run from the basement to the 3rd floor in 3 minutes?
Y'all had that many floors in your school?
Yeah, we had a basement and then the ground floor, and then the 1st floor, 2nd floor, and 3rd floor. So
Damn.
and then you just running up the steps. I'm not doing that.
Y'all ain't had no
I'm not changing
elevator
my
or
clothes
nothing?
and then doing that. We had an elevator, but it was only if you, like, needed it. Like, you would get in trouble if you were
Like, if
on the
you
elevator.
broke your leg or whatever?
If you broke your leg or if you was, like, an adult, you could use the elevator, but, like, for the most part, we were not allowed to use it, and if you got
Y'all
caught
was
using
getting
it,
y'all
it would
steps
be
in.
was we?
My high school only was it that your high school wasn't that, like, wide? Because mine was only 2 floors, but ours was long, like, our high school was long.
Our high school is pretty large, like and it also is on top of a hill, so you need it's like the damn rocky steps to just get up to the school itself. So it's big. It's pretty big, pretty illustrious, Philadelphia High School for Girls, shout out. It's a pretty large building.
Philadelphia High School for Girls.
Absolutely.
Did y'all have a motto?
Vincit qui se vincit, which means she conquers who conquers herself in Latin.
Is that Latin?
Latin, yep. Yep.
I know a thing or 2.
Well, do you know that she conquers who conquers herself?
No, but I know I came, I saw, I conquered.
Period. So, like,
I wanted to get that
Vinny.
tattoo so bad.
I think Janae has that tattoo.
In Latin?
Yeah, or she might have a lot of high girls get our actual school motto tatted, and I definitely wanted to get that, and I probably will at some point.
It's not too late, it's not too late,
It's
it's
not
not
too
too
late.
late for
It's
you
definitely
or
something that
me.
a lot of my girls' high sisters have on them somewhere, probably.
I love that.
Me too.
I like that motto. I don't think my school had a motto,
Really?
we just
That's so
vibe.
sad. Go, just go.
See
Seahawks,
Seahawks.
Seahawks, I knew it, I knew it. I knew it was a bird. I was gonna say go birds, but it's not them birds.
It is a bird.
Close enough.
Seahawks.
Seahawks.
Big birds, not the little ones. Shout
Are
out South
Seahawks
River. Shout out South River, huh? The biggest, the largest, or whatever Big X the plug said.
gotcha.
Anywho, how are you doing on this beautiful, beautiful day?
I'm doing great. I'm actually really excited to celebrate Dr. Martin Luther King tomorrow.
I too have a dream.
Mhm. You didn't ask me to be your dream for MLK Day. Apparently, you're supposed to do that.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, like you ask somebody to be your Valentine for Valentine's Day, you're supposed to ask somebody to be your dream for MLK Day.
In all of my African American years of being on this earth, that is
I
the
saw it
first
on
time I've
TikTok.
ever heard that. Huh?
I saw it on TikTok, so it's probably, like, made up. Well, it's definitely made up.
You can't believe everything that you see on TikTok. It's probably
No.
AI.
It's definitely not AI, but it's definitely something that people are doing.
The only AI I acknowledge is Allen Iverson.
Go Sixers.
No, but
No, he was a
no.
Sixer. I met him.
He
I met him
was a
back in the
Sixer, but
day.
not go Sixers because they
We
suck.
had a slumber party at the same hotel that he was staying at one time, and he was nice-ish. He said hi to us.
Welcome one, welcome all. Welcome mamas, baby mamas, sons of baby mamas, daughters of baby mamas, sisters and brothers,
How
cousins.
feminist of you.
Yeah, I'm very inclusive. All lives
Mm,
matter.
anywho, they do. They do.
Why you welcome to the unofficial transcript
Podcast.
podcast. We talking college, work, the ghettos of adulthood. Adulthood is the most ghetto hood I've ever endeavored to live in,
Mhm.
but we here. We surviving. Scratching and surviving.
Literally. But we're here.
Talking about all the things that somehow never made it into the syllabus, but should have made it.
Yep.
If you thought that you would have life figured out by now, and you don't, you're not alone. We are here with you.
And is.
Till the wheels fall off. For some of us,
Yep.
they've already fallen off. We are running on spares, but that's okay. It's okay.
We getting up there.
We getting there. We getting there. We getting there. So if you still figure it out, pull up a chair, pull up a stool, roll something, pull something, drink something,
Heck
cry a little
yeah.
bit, let it out. We here.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So what are we here to discuss today?
I have a question for you.
Okay.
You ready for my question?
I hope so.
I bet. So, what if 18-year-old you walked in the room
Mm, mhm.
right now? What would you say to her? What would you say to 18-year-old Dr. D? Wanna be Dr. D?
Well, one, I would say your daddy gonna die soon, so you should probably brace yourself. I feel like that would be the first thing I would say because that was not something I was expecting at 18. I would also say, like, I don't know. I feel like that's the biggest thing I would say is like, your dad's gonna die, and that's gonna really throw a wrench in your freshman year. But, you gotta keep pushing, I suppose.
As a fatherless person, I can't relate. However, I can't imagine losing a parent, period, but
Yeah,
I can't imagine losing a parent freshman year of college. That sounds treacherous.
it was. It was.
Do you feel comfortable sharing how you navigated that?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't know if I could say I navigated it other than I just kept on going. Like,
Yeah.
I very much found out, or how I remember it is like I found out at a party. Like, I was at a party.
Was outside.
I was outside. It was like a Tuesday night. I was at
You
a
was outside on
party.
a school night?
Hey,
Nothing screams
hey.
college like a Tuesday night party, I tell you that.
So I was at a function.
Mhm.
It was in February, so, like, it's coming up soon, the anniversary, but it was in February, and I got a phone call from my brother, my older brother, and, like, I missed it, and then, like, I texted him, and, like, I remember answering the phone and being like, "Hey," because I was having a good time, like, I thought it was just, like, a regular phone call from my brother, so I'm like, "What's up?" And he's like, "I think," like, he was in a panic, I will say. He was like, "I think this happened. I don't know if it's true or not. Like, call your mom, see what's going on. Like, I don't know what's happening. I think dad's dead." And I was like, "What?"
That's
He's
how
like,
that
"That's what they're
conversation
saying. I
went?
don't know." Like, "Huh?"
That's how that conversation went?
It was like he was very much frazzled. Like, and he was like, "I don't know what's going on," because he was also, I think my brother was living in DC at the time. Tommy, where was you living? We're from Pennsylvania. I was in Atlanta. He was either in, like, DC or, like, maybe LA at the time. He was living somewhere else. Like, we neither one of us were home when it's happening. And so he was like, "I think that's what happened. Like, that's what they're saying. I don't know if it's true call, like, we gotta figure something out. Like, we gotta
Yeah.
see what's going on." So then I call my mom, and I'm like, "Is this true? This is what my brother said?" And she's like, "Go down to this office." And I was like, "What?" Like, I don't remember. Maybe she did confirm, but she was like, "Go down to this office on campus." So backstory again, went to the illustrious Clark Atlanta University, which is a Christian, or like a, I don't know the denomination, but a religious school with religious background. And so we had a chaplain on campus, and
Mhm.
that chaplain was a friend of my mom, basically. And so I don't know if, like, I really don't know. I would have to call my mom and ask her, like, how she orchestrated this whole thing. But when I found out, the chaplain was, like, ready. Like, it was nighttime on a Tuesday night, so, like, how this was orchestrated, I cannot say. But I got off the phone with my mom and I go down to the chaplain's office and she was there and she like kind of walked me through. Maybe she gave me more detail. I can't really remember how it went. Obviously, it was a blur. And my best friend at the time was with me, and I remember like they were just praying and like crying and praying and crying. And I remember just feeling like I'm like one of those people now. Like I'm one of those kids whose parent is just dead, and that's just my life now, I guess. And so I remember, like, obviously, I did not go back to the party, I went back to my dorm, and I think she walked me back or something. She gave me her card, like, she offered a lot of resources, the chaplain, there, and was just like, "We're gonna make arrangements for you to go home," and all the things like this, and mind you, this was February, midterms was in, like, the next few months, so I had to, like, go home, do the funeral stuff, and then came back, and it was midterms, and of course, I was, like, not in my right mind to, like,
Right, right.
be academic. And I think this is where, like, the HBCU part one of the first instances where I'm like, "This is a different type of environment." Because 1, I happened to see one of my professors at the airport. We were both flying out, like, on a random weekday, wherever she was
Yeah,
going, speaking engagement or something, and she saw me going through the we were going through the TSA at the same time, and she didn't know what happened, and I told her, and she was like, "Oh my god," and she, like, reached in her pocket, gave me, like, a stack of money, like, I don't remember how much, but she gave me money out her wallet and was like, "I'm so sorry, like, take all the time you need, like, we got you, whatever, whatever." Sent me on my way, and then I was on my flight, she was on her flight. And then, go home, do the funeral and all this stuff. And then I come back and it's midterm week, and, like, the chaplain, if you remember, she took care of everything. She was like, "If you wanna take the midterms, take them. If you can't, like, we will work it is not gonna
mhm,
affect your grades right now." 'Cause that's something I was obviously worried about. I was on a scholarship, so I was always in the back of my mind, like, I have to maintain a certain GPA. We talked about that in the GPA in
yeah,
the beginning, but, like,
yeah,
I literally
yeah,
had to maintain a certain GPA or I would lose my scholarship. So in my mind, I'm like, "I can't flunk all my classes." So that was what 18 was like
my
for me, and I guess I handled it as best I could because I was just thinking, like, you can't spiral, you can't crash out, you can't drop out, like, so many things were going through my mind of, like, I think what people would have expected me to do,
yeah,
or, like, using that tragedy as, like, an excuse for me to, like, spiral, go out, like, just drop out of school or, like, just completely like, I didn't want that to, like, throw off my life, if that makes sense, which I
mhm,
don't think, like, the type of person my dad was, he would not have wanted that. He was a very, like, Theo Huxtable kinda guy, like, he was into academics, like I said, he went to Cheney. He would was an educator and, like, had his master's and all that, so, like, I knew that that's what I didn't wanna do,
yeah,
so I threw myself into school even harder, like, my social life went to pretty much nothing,
yeah,
I was just so focused on not letting everyone down, I suppose.
yeah, that
That was a lot.
dang, I'm sorry that happened to you.
Oh,
Your
thank
freshman year, that man, I can't imagine. But I think you said this, and I think I can echo it even though that didn't happen to me, but, like, your Clark Atlanta community was there for you, your professors, the chaplain, like,
Mhm.
the staff was there for you in a way that a maybe a PWI would not have been.
Don't know.
I feel like you also have a unique experience, right? Because you did undergrad at a HBCU, but you did your next 2 degrees at a PWI. So I feel like you have
Mhm.
kind of an insight as to how they operate versus, the HBCU. So, like, do you feel like you can give a proper insight into, like, how you think the situation would have been handled had you had been at a PWI versus your HBCU?
I have no idea. Like, I have no clue. Like, I know stories of friends who've, like, maybe had babies or, like, other life things, maybe not the same thing as, like, a parent passing away, but other life things in the schools were not as accommodating. It might be, like, an individual, like, one person as opposed to, like, the structure. I don't think it's as structurally, like, important for a
Yeah,
PWI to be
yeah,
like, "We're gonna wrap around" there like, individuals might take it upon themselves, I think, to support you and things like that, but I don't think it's in the fabric of the PWI that I went to, like, our community to be
yeah.
like, let's completely wrap around a student when it comes to, like, those kinda personal things.
Man, well,
Yeah,
it seems like you was at the right place at the
I
right
certainly
damn
was.
time.
I certainly was. Like, when she pulled money out of her wallet, like, in the middle of the airport, it's like 4 AM, you catching flights, like, early in the morning, and she was like, "Take this, like,
Mhm.
have a breakfast, like, something," like, she just, like I don't know. I don't think that you can get that everywhere.
Somebody told me before, like, when you go to the airport, you should for sure wear your nail you should wear your
Something.
rep your set when you go to the airport, cause you never know who you might run into.
That's so true. Even if it just say HBCU, like, it don't even have to be
Yeah.
like, I've worn stuff that just says HBCU made or something like that, and people be like, "What school?" And then it's like
Mhm.
a thing. So for certainly,
It'd be
certainly.
like, "Cousin." Sorry.
Exactly.
Sorry about that.
Now let
Sorry.
me ask you that question. What would you tell your 18-year-old self?
What would I tell my 18-year-old self? Stop buying liquor from the bottom shelf. Just kidding.
Are you though?
Low key, I'm not kidding
You
because
get the job done though, in a
choices were
pinch.
choices were made. Choices were made in college, you hear me?
Mhm. Oh, I hear you.
Pinnacle?
Whipped.
Whipped.
Pinnacle whipped
We
was a
needed to be whipped.
time.
BTA for drinking that.
But it was so tasty at the time.
I tell you what, I used to drink my one of my go-tos back then was a drink called Effin'. It was a vodka. I believe it was 50 cents vodka.
Mm.
Effin', oh my god, had me in a chokehold. Had me in a
Spell it. What's
chokehold.
effing?
EFFEN, effin'.
Hmm.
If you know, you know.
Yeah, I don't know.
If you know, you know. But yeah, like the I was drinking a lot of Hypnotic. One of my go-to drinks was Hypnotic and a light blue Gatorade, a Glacier Freeze Gatorade, and a Cookout Cup.
Hmm. That is a very blue bev. What do you have a name for it? I feel like that's a very special, unique cocktail to you, like your
A
own
special
recipe.
unique cocktail?
Yeah, like a recipe that like you should name it something. Like it's like a signature
I
drink.
should. I don't know
Like
if I
it's
would
called
drink it
the
in 2026, but
but
no, honestly, all jokes aside, if 18-year-old Coach A walked in the room, I would tell her, I think keep the main thing. And I know that sounds kinda cliche and broad, but, um, I think a lot of people when you're 18, you kinda in college, you have an idea of how your life is supposed to go. Like, you gon' do this bid, do this 4 or 5 or however long it's gonna take you, get this degree, you gonna go work, like,
yeah.
you gon' everything is gonna be like boom, 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 and the reality is that it's not gonna always go to plan, and somebody told me before, like, "When man plans, God laughs," and so when you focus on the main thing, despite all the, like, the hardships that you go through, if you keep your eye on what you're supposed to keep your eye on, everything is gonna work out. It just might the finish line, you still gonna get there, but the journey might look a little different. And so,
Mhm.
I think I would just say keep the main thing, because there were a lot of situations I found myself in where I'm like, they kinda knocked me off course a little bit or like, blurred the lines and kinda I lost focus, but I think if I would've told myself that, nothing could have probably prepared me for everything that I had to go through, but I think that
Yeah.
if I would've had that little voice in the back of my head, I probably would've been a little bit better off, at least mentally. Keep the main thing. I think that's what I would've told myself, for
I
sure.
like that. I
For
like
sure, you're right
that.
on. My
Focus.
goodness. Man, when I got to college, I wasn't even 18. That's the crazy part. I was
That
a
is
jit.
crazy.
I was a
You were
jit.
just a little baby.
Little baby, little baby. Mm-mm.
17 on the
1738.
yeah,
Shout out Fetty. He out of jail. It's 2016 all over again. You
he
heard?
sure is. Like, I really love that we are embracing that because I feel like that's the last time that stuff was, like, fine.
Life was so much simpler.
Life was so much simpler in 2016. I will not be back on Snapchat, though. No.
Fair enough. Fair
I think a
enough.
lot of celebrities be on Snapchat, like, heavy, and I don't understand why,
I
but
think Snapchat be paying. I think that's why. I
probably.
think Snapchat be giving out that bag
'Cause there's
now.
no reason that people are on well, I guess it's not where I'm just old. I'm too old for Snapchat, I feel.
Hey man.
The concept of it is like,
What do you think what did you think if you can think back to 2012,
mhm.
what did you think your life would look like at 30?
2012? Oh, I thought I would be married with kids. I thought by 30 I would be done having kids. Like, I would be, like, done having kids by, like, 25, 26, and somehow be a doctor because I did always wanna go, like, beyond undergrad.
Yeah.
But I thought that I would be married with kids at this point and a doctor or like a lawyer. Like I thought I would be doing something that's very like chic. Like a very like I get to dress up type of job. Like, that's what I envisioned for myself. Like, it was more of, like, an image of that. I know, like, I work with young people now, and we have a lot of debates about what's professional attire. Like, should you should you feel like you have to code switch or dress a certain way in the workplace? Like, I was one of them people who I want a job where I have to dress up. Like, I want to be click clacking down the hall, and I want a certain aesthetic, and I felt like that was the image I saw for myself. Like, some kinda
With
job
your
where I'm, like,
keys
in
jangling.
charge. Yes, like, that was what, like, whether it was a professor or, like, a lawyer or something that was, like, very glamorous, but also, like, had this family life all together as well, somehow. But that was what I saw. What about you?
To be completely transparent, I don't think I know because
Mhm,
I was one of those kids that if you asked me every day of the week what I wanted to be when I grew up, you would get 7 different answers.
mhm,
And even though like, very much chose my major or my major chose me or however you wanna word it, um, I ended up going to school for computer engineering. I wasn't sold on, like, me being a engineer for the rest of my life. Like, it wasn't necessarily my passion, it was just something I was good at, and it was something that
mhm,
I knew I could make a lot of money doing. But I always said, like, my dream job is to, like, coach basketball, like, work with kids or something like that. I don't know, like, work being an engineer is cool, like, it has its perks and, you learn a lot, and it's not boring, but again, it's not my passion, it doesn't fulfill me. And so, professionally, I don't even think I was thinking that far ahead, if I'm
mm.
being honest. Now, personally, I think I kinda share the same sentiment as you. Like, I thought I would have the house, have the kids, have the dog, like, I thought I would be doing all of that, and some of those boxes are checked, but most of them are not. I'm definitely grateful to have been able to get a house, but at the same time, like, when I think about it, I don't know if I did it because I wanted it or if I did it because I felt like that was what I was supposed to do. 'Cause that's what people tell you, like, "You're supposed to buy a house and have kids and da 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 da," like, society makes you feel
Yeah.
that way. But, whatever, it is what it is. So, personally, this is not what I imagine my 30s looking like all, at all, but we
I
here.
feel like most of us in our 30s are not where we thought we would be in our 30s. Like, I think career-wise, it's a lot harder to progress than I think I would have expected.
Yeah,
Like, and we were talking about this earlier, like, I think previous generations could progress a little bit faster because people were retiring at, like, a different rate, and so people age out. When older people phase out, then you can move up, but
yeah,
older people are not phasing out, they are staying where they at, and they are not trying to go like, they're staying in the leadership roles. So, like, it's becoming more, at least in my experience, it is becoming a lot harder to, like, move up the
for
ladder
sure.
in that way because the people who are there aren't going anywhere. They're not moving on themselves because it's
They
such a
can't.
tough market. They can't because, like, they don't have
Right.
the type of benefits, the retirement benefits that was once available, but also, like, they're scared, I think, to move around because w it
That's facts, that's facts. I think at least on the, like, STEM side, on the tech side, I spent a lot of my most of my career in either working directly for the government or in defense contracting, and everything that you just said is the truth. Like, old heads that's been in the same place their whole career, they wanna retire, but they can't. Like,
Yeah.
they can't retire, they can't go nowhere, and so, um, essentially, it feels like a rat race. It feels like everybody chasing the same cheese,
Yep,
and it ain't enough cheese for everybody.
yep.
And me personally, I have no desire to climb a corporate ladder. I have 0 desire. I could, and that's the thing, like, I could if I wanted to. I could if I wanted to, but I have no desire, like, that wouldn't fulfill me either. I don't
Yeah,
wanna be the CEO of some defense like, I have no desire. I have no desire. Money sound good, but
I do.
nah, nah.
I definitely desire to be to I don't wanna say climb the ladder, but yes, I guess to say it that way, yeah. I think we work in very different industries, like, you're where you are, I'm in nonprofit, and I'm in a city where nonprofits are very necessary, because there's a lot of inequity, so nonprofits bloom here, so it's
Mhm.
very oversaturated, and the thought of moving up makes sense because it's already the nonprofit industry. You don't there's not a lot of money. You would think there's not a lot of money to be made in
Yeah,
this field in general. So it's like the kind of the only way to survive is to have a leadership role, or is to be like as close to the C-suite as possible because that means you're as close to a living wage as possible for the amount of time and energy and money I've put into my education. I kinda have to I have to aspire to leadership because of the field where I think your field, you can make a living wage without ever being, like, touching the C-suite just because of the nature of the work.
yeah, yeah,
Whereas here, it's like, it's very few and far like, there is money to be made in nonprofit, don't get me wrong. There are people making very, very comfortable salaries, but
yeah.
that is not the norm or the majority.
When you were going through your, like, degree programs,
Mhm.
I feel like you kinda knew what you wanted to do, or you had an idea of what you wanted to do with your degrees or with your education, like, you knew what you wanted to do with it. Did you have any, like, insecurities or, like, second guesses about that? I'll speak for myself, right? I learned very or, like, pre-college that I was gonna be a double minority in the STEM area. I went to a predominantly white high school, but I went there because it was a STEM school, and it gave me an opportunity to learn, a lot about computer engineering, and not just computer engineering, all different engineering disciplines. So I'm very grateful for that. But I was very much a fly in milk, and I think that exposed an insecurity that I don't think I would have had I like I think I just would have been ignorant to it. Like had I gone to a school that was majority like or more diverse, I don't think I would have been like, oh, like I'm gonna be the only black female in the room when I go in these spaces. Like, but going to that mostly white high school made me think that. And so going into
Mm,
college, going into the workforce, I knew what was waiting for me. Like I knew that it was a very high possibility that when I go to work, I'm probably gonna be the only black female in the room, in
yeah.
the meeting. So that was something that I think I tried to mentally prepare myself for. Was there anything kinda similar or any insecurities that you had going into your professional life after
I think
college?
that's such an interesting question because in a way, like, so I went to if you rewind, I went to a very Afrocentric elementary school from like 2nd to 8th grade. And so I had a very strong foundation of like black power, black, black, black. So I was very aware of my blackness, I would say, from a very, very early age. And then I went to a all girls high school, which was girl power, girl power, girl power. So a lot of things I looked at from a feminist perspective in high school because it was no boys. Like there was no male validation competition. Like it was just not only girls, but college bound girls. Like it was for a specific, it's very much a college prep high school for girls. And so we were all kind of
Mhm.
in the same mindset of like, we're going to be something excellent, whatever it is, because we are amazing and girl power, whatever. So then I was aware of my blackness. I was aware of my femaleness, I guess. And then I go into this field that is very dominated by black women. Like education is a field dominated by women, period. So I don't know if I went into it or if it was a shock for me. I think in every job I've had out of undergrad, it's been a very female dominated space. And a lot of those places have also been black female dominated. And I think I've had conflicts with both black women and white women for different reasons and different ways, and that kind of is really what inspired my dissertation, like, for my doctorate is, like, what I chose to write about, because I think it's such an interesting phenomenon to go into a field where I know I'm not gonna be the only woman, and I'm not gonna be the only black woman in most spaces. Now, as I get up in leadership, it is more like that, but for the most part, no, I think it's just I'm very much one of many, so it's like, how do you stand out, I guess?
Yeah,
What sets you apart?
yeah. That's real. I
Yeah.
kinda envy that a little bit.
Do
Like, it
you?
it gotta feel different to be surrounded by people who look more like you,
Mhm.
where, like, you don't have to explain every single thing. You don't have to explain, like, yourself on every front, like
Yeah.
I feel like even at work, because I'm a real, like, jokey type of person, I'm a real upbeat kinda person, and so, like, sometimes I feel like it's certain jokes that I can't even make, not because I think they won't hit, but just because they just won't understand, and I don't feel like explaining.
Right.
I don't feel like explaining it.
That sounds
Maybe
very
that's a me
difficult.
problem.
No, I think that sounds like I don't think I would survive in that environment. Like, it's me, I don't really like men, and I don't really like white people. So, like, I think I grew up with a bias, like, not even joking, like, I grew up I grew up learning about the world from a very different perspective than I think most kids
Yeah,
learn about the world. So I grew up afraid, like legitimately afraid of white people because I
yeah.
knew history from I knew the gruesome side of it from a very early age. So I was afraid. So I think if I was going into a field that was mostly white men, I would be like, I am in danger. I would not be able to like let my guard down or do any like I don't think that would be a mentally safe space for me.
You know, that's such an interesting statement that you just made. How like your the schools that you went the schools that you went to, and even just being in Philly, growing up in Philly, it's a
Yeah,
black city,
it is a
right?
very black city.
Excuse me. Your perception of white people is kind of shaped and molded by your experiences. Not to say that it's right or wrong, but it just is a thing. It's such an interesting conversation for me because going to a mostly white high school showed me that there are a lot of things that we think about white people that are not true, and there are a lot of things that white people think about us that are just not true. And you know, like not you said you were kind of conditioned to be afraid of white people,
Mhm.
and I think that the white people were also conditioned to be afraid of us.
Yeah,
Like,
for sure.
they for sure, they think that we violent and all of that, but then, you know, when I was in high school, they met me and everybody wanted to be my friend. They wanted to sit with me at the lunch table, like, they was buying me birthday gifts, like, they was doing all of that. Now, it coulda been because I was the star athlete on the basketball team,
Yeah,
but
probably.
but even, you know, regardless, like, I went to school with a lot of my cousins, a lot of my family members, and they treated them no different for the most part. It's probably some stuff I didn't see, obviously, but I think that your surroundings and the people around you definitely, like, if you grow up with a racist white grandfather, you probably gonna be racist.
Right,
Like,
exactly.
it just is what it is. But
The products of our environment.
my great grandmother, I ain't gonna say she didn't teach me not to see color because that's not a thing. Like that, I hate that statement. But she taught me to love everybody
Yeah,
until they give you a reason not to, and even then you love them anyway, but from a distance. So
that's so nice. I feel like in Philly, we are not I mean, we are a city of brotherly love, sure, but I don't think love everybody is our philosophy
emphasis on the
at
brother.
hello. Like, I was terrified, afraid, like, I view white people as villains, as kidnappers, as evil, abusive people. Like, maybe I shouldn't have, like, watched Roots at such a young age, like, the whole thing. Like, maybe we shouldn't have been told, like, the very bloody, gory details, like, it's like, when you think about slavery, I think like, when I say I think about slavery more than the average person, I'm not joking. Like, when I say everything that we go through is a product or a result of that time, of
Mhm.
antebellum time here, it's crazy. Like, when you it is mind-blowing to think about how much of our lives today is affected by that system.
Yeah,
And, like,
yeah,
how mu it makes you angry, like, it can really, like, mess with you, I think, when you think about all the advantages that some people have and disadvantages that other people
for
have,
sure, for sure, for sure.
which led me, I think, again, to nonprofit, to education, because I wouldn't have known that if I wasn't educated. I would have been going around thinking about whatever I was thinking about, but, like, when I say knowledge is truly power and it can be really liberating, I think that really is what pushed me into continuing that work, like, never wanting to get out of a space where I'm not thinking about stuff, like, stuff that is affecting us all.
Yeah. Excuse me. I love that.
Hmm.
Is there anything that like happened? Is there anything that kind of shook your world before you got to college? Like at the beginning, you talked about, you know, your dad passing away, but that was when you were in college, right? You were there
Mhm.
already. Were there any life events that kind of altered your life path or your trajectory or just your mindset? Like for me, I'll give an example. Um, like I said, I played basketball, and so my idea of college was going to be you're going to go to big D1 school, play ball, you
Mhm.
gonna be the star basketball player, you know, you gonna be the one. You gonna be on campus, effing people up, you know. That was gonna be you. I had a career-ending injury in my senior year of high school, and so that event completely changed my college, like, experience, I think, because
Yeah,
I probably woulda ended up at somebody's PWI, on somebody's basketball team, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And because basketball was out of the picture, it changed everything for me because the basketball wasn't the main thing no more, and even though, like, education should have been the main thing from the jump, It
Yeah.
wasn't for me.
Right.
It wasn't, let's be honest. But once basketball was taken out of the picture, it was like, "Alright, so we're gonna focus on engineering now. We're gonna focus on the right fit for me and not the right fit for basketball," so to speak,
Yeah.
because those things aren't, they're mutually exclusive. So, was there anything, I guess, similar? I know that's a very, like, specific example for me, but was there anything groundbreaking or earth-shattering that happened to you that was like
I don't think so. Like, I feel like I was very much on a path from, like, the beginning, and I just kinda stuck to that path. Like, I don't think there were any life events. There were certainly life events that happened, like, in high school and stuff, but nothing that altered my college pathway, I don't think. Like, I think I knew that I was going to college. I knew I was going to a HBCU more than likely. Like I said, I was kind of teetering with, like, the New York like, scene, like, I think I was kind of for a little bit between those 2, like, worlds, like, what do I wanna see for myself, but ultimately went the HBCU route, and I'm happy I did. But no, I don't think anything, like, super pushed me. I think no, like, I think the teachers I had in high school let me know like, I don't know, I think I didn't know what I was gonna major in maybe, and I think choosing English and feeling, like, affirmed and, like, English being a good choice for me was kind of like a debate for a little bit of, like, what would I study, but that's, I think, the extent of anything. Like, if anything, it was just like, what am I gonna study? Or, like, those kinda minor details, but for the most part, I was pretty much on the path, like, I know what I'm gonna do, and I kinda had
Yeah.
tunnel vision to get to that, so I guess no.
How have your, like, interests changed all these years later? Like, did you listen to the same music that you was like, do you at your great big age now, do you
Yeah,
listen to the
alright,
same type
great and big is crazy.
you older than me.
By, like,
Alright,
6 weeks
my bad, my
max.
bad, my bad player, my bad player. But, like,
Golly.
even just, like, down to, like, food, right? Like,
Yeah.
do you think that your interests are still kinda similar to what they were back then?
Mostly, like, I would say mostly, like, I definitely have been in the Beehive since I was about 3 years old,
Yeah.
so I'm so serious, like, I can pull out my kindergarten papers, and I wrote, like, accents on all of my E's because Beyoncé had an accent over her E, so every E that I wrote in kindergarten had an accent over it, but that's neither here nor there. I feel like my interests for the most part are the same, like, I was really into fashion in high school, like, I was subscribed to, like, Vogue, LW, like, all of these magazines, even magazines I probably shouldn't have been subscribed to, but that's how old I am that I had magazine subscriptions come into my house every month, which I don't even know if people do that anymore, but, like, I was, like, a fashion girly, like, I had, like, favorite like, I studied designers and, like, really, like, for a minute was like, "Imma be in the fashion scene, and I'm gonna be a writer, like a fashion writer." That's what I wanted to do, and I don't think I care about fashion at all anymore for the most part because I don't know, it just doesn't seem that important to me anymore, especially, like, with the rise of fast fashion and all that stuff, like, the artistry of it all is, like, not it's still a thing, but it's not as accessible. But for the most part, like, the same music, I mean, I've completely cut out all of the bad people, like, I don't listen to Chris Brown or R. Kelly or anybody like that, which I, in college, very much had a R. Kelly Pandora station. Not my proudest moment, but I did at the time, and
Hey.
probably even a Chris Brown one too, but, like, I think I'm really standing on business when it comes to, like, decentering hateful, abusive people, men.
Mhm.
So I think I'm a lot more rigid in those kind of boundaries. Like, I think before, like, some things I might have joked about or, made fun of that I just don't think is funny anymore. I think my sense of humor has changed. But in terms of my interest, I still like books. I still like the types of books that I liked. If anything, I read more. I definitely read more now than when I was in school because I have free time to read what I want to read and not what I was made to read. But no, I still love reading and writing and thinking. And I still love working with kids. I did that in high school, I mean, in undergrad as well. So, like, for the most part, I think I'm the same person. I think if anything, I'm just becoming better version of
Yeah.
who I was, I suppose.
That's what it's all about, man.
What do you think about
Leveling up. I think for me okay, so my sense of humor is still there. It's still the same. I was goofy at 18 and I'm goofy now. I was always the friend that would make you laugh, that's always been me. That has never changed. I'm still a very picky eater. Like in terms of food, I think I'm pretty much the same. I think I'm a little bit more open to trying new things, but for the most part, I'm still picky. Am naturally an extroverted person, but I do think that the older that I get, the more introverted I get. And I don't know. why. I used to be, like, center of attention, life of the party kinda person, and now I'm cool just being in the shadows or being the observer. I don't really need a bunch of friends anymore. Like, I had a bunch of friends back then, and now it's like circle small, Cheerio size. So now in terms of working with kids, yes, that I've always when I was in college, not volunteered, I got paid. I worked at the Boys and Girls Club in Petersburg. So I think I always had a soft spot for kids, and that still is present to this day. So I think for the most part, like, a lot of my interests still align. You just kinda cut out a lot of that bullshit, so to speak.
Mhm.
So
I think you said you were more extroverted and now you're more introverted. I'm the opposite. I think I was more introverted and now I'm more extroverted as a
why do you think that is?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I low key think I don't know. Like, let me not say that. I was gonna say something, but I feel like I was gonna therapize myself, and I don't need that smoke right now. But I do just think like becoming more confident and, like, what I have to say, like, I think I'm a person that thinks before they speak a lot. Like, I've always been that way where I, like, have a whole conversation in my inner world before I ever say something out loud. I've just always been like that. It might be because I come from a family of very loud women, strong, loud women who, like, everyone like, very much a matriarchy of, like, just and so I think, like, a part of it was, like, I was the observer, like, I was, like, just the one in the corner, like, just kind of listening, absorbing, and now I see myself as a part of that, and I don't think I saw myself as a part of that as a kid, like, I was very much staying in a kid's place by just observing,
Yeah.
and I think now I'm more like those women in my family that are, like, more opinionated. I don't know, I think it's a part of growing up, at least for me, like, I see it as a part of, like, my growing up, of, like, coming into myself a little bit more.
Yeah. I think I don't now that I'm sitting here thinking about it, I don't know if it's that I've gotten more introverted, but what I will say is that I've become a lot more choosy with what I give my energy to.
Mhm.
Like, there are a lot of things, a lot of situations, a lot of people that I will leave the pieces on the floor and walk away. Like,
Mhm.
I'm not giving my energy to something that I feel like is not worth it. And I think, like, having that discernment has been a huge difference maker in, like, me retaining my sanity.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I don't know if it's that I've become more introverted, but I definitely, like, I would there's a lot of things and people that I will go out of my way for, and, like, I still do to an extent now, but I'm a lot more picky. Like, if I don't like it, if I don't like how you move, I'm out. Like, I don't have time. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna try to figure it out. I'm not gonna ask no questions. God bless you. Catch you on the flip. Like, that's just how I move these days. Versus back then, I'd be like, I still might invite you to the party, but
That's interesting. I wonder if that's a Scorpio thing.
man, I feel like when people find out that I'm a Scorpio, they like
Sorry, did I just
no, I mean, I'm a proud
ouch you?
Scorpio. I'm
Okay,
a
cool.
proud I'm a Scorpio. But
Big
I think a
Scorp.
lot of people there's a lot of stereotypes when it comes to
For
Scorpios.
sure, for sure,
Some better than others.
for sure.
But all Imma say is if you can't take the smoke, can't take the heat, get out the kitchen.
Hmm.
Imma still cook though.
Mhm. Nice.
Imma still cook though. Did you learn anything? What would you tell 18-year-old you about, like, relationships specifically? What have you learned throughout the years that what are some lessons that you wish 18-year-old you would have learned going into relationships?
I would say, like, you have to know yourself, or you have to make an effort to know yourself. Like, nobody at 18 knows themselves completely. Like, nobody knows themselves at any age, probably. But, like, I think at 18, I was definitely more likely to just go with the flow and not like when something in my gut was like, this is not right, or this is not something I like or agree with. I would just kind of go with the flow. And I think being laid back, I think, was something that is, like, I thought was a good thing about me, like, "Oh, yeah, whatever." But, like, no, cameo.
Leon.
Your face. Oh, yeah, Paw Patrol in the building. Anyway, let's hope you don't get to ruin.
Mhm.
But, yeah, that's what I would tell myself is to, like, know yourself, know what you like and what you don't like before you start, like, entertaining other people. Like, RuPaul's Drag Race, one thing they say is if you don't love yourself, how in hell you gonna love somebody else? And I think that's so true. Like, you have to know what you like and dislike before you, like, are connected to another person. That's how I would put it. Because otherwise you'll lose yourself. You will lose yourself, and I think especially as girls, especially as, like, I'll just say girls, like, we are conditioned to to just make everything okay, like,
Yeah.
to just be agreeable, be nice, be polite, like, not ruffle any feathers, and a lot of that's for safety reasons, like, you don't wanna offend somebody and then end up unalived or something, so, like, I
Mhm.
understand the reason, but, like, that is just so harmful. That is just so
Yeah.
harmful and detrimental, I think, to your growth, so you gotta know yourself and stand on it. What would you say?
So much. So, so much. I think the first thing that comes to mind is that, like, no is a complete sentence. Like, you don't have to tolerate something or somebody if you don't want to, especially if it's detrimental to your mental health or
Mhm.
just your peace. Like, people will drink from the well until it is dry, and they'll still try to get some even after that.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of people out here that try to make their partners into something that they either are not or shouldn't be. Like, I think there's a lot of people out here that think that their partner should do what their mothers do, or like their dads do. It's just like, nah, like,
Yeah. Perhaps not.
perhaps not. Secondly, communication is huge. Like, you gotta learn how to talk to people. You gotta learn how to have conversations, even the uncomfortable ones. I've never really been one to shy away from tough conversations, but I think that younger me was okay with other people being, like, okay with not having the tough conversations. And then ultimately, the fact that those tough conversations were never had led to the detriment of the relationship. And so
Yeah.
I think, sometimes you gotta be the adult and be like, "We gonna sit down, grab what you gotta grab, get some chips or something, but we gonna talk. Like, we gonna hash this out. We gonna talk about it.
Grab
Like,
some
let me know what's
chips.
on your mind. I am not a mind reader. I am very talented, but I am not that talented. So,
Yeah.
either you gonna tell me and Imma know, or you're not gonna tell me and I'm not gonna know, and then you just gonna be mad."
Yeah. Having tough conversations is definitely necessary, and it's not a bad thing. Like, I think we
No.
we view conflict as, like, inherently bad, like, you don't wanna have any conflict ever, and conflict is unavoidable, like, no one is a perfect human
Mhm.
or a perfect partner or a perfect anything. So, like, conflict is natural and it's okay. I think a lot of people are just quick to, like, be so averse to it. Any kind of difficulty, it's like, "Oh, no, give up." But it doesn't have to be that way. Like, you can
No.
work through conflict. Like, you should work through conflict because it's not gonna you're not gonna not have conflict.
And imagine spending the rest of your life with somebody that you can't have a conversation with. Like, your partner is supposed to be one of the few safe spaces in this world. And if you can't
Mhm.
have a conversation with them about whatever, like, is it uncomfortable? Sure, it could be uncomfortable, but there should not be a fear there, a fear so large that it just prevents you from having a conversation altogether. I think that if it's really your real partner, if they really for
Right.
you,
You
you
should
should
be
be able
able
to
to
have
talk.
that conversation.
You should be able to have that conversation and not be afraid that it's gonna end up catastrophic.
Yeah,
It shouldn't.
yeah. So, as a person who works with children on a daily basis or weekly basis, I don't know what the frequency is,
Mm,
but as a person who works with children very often,
yeah.
what is something that or some things, it could be more than one thing,
Mhm.
that you wish they, like, realized? Some keys that you could give them that you feel like they're missing to make them more successful in their later years.
I wish that young people knew that it really is these damn phones. It really is the phones, like, their attention spans are fried, and I don't think that that is going to bode well for them, for the careers that they want, like, for the careers that they wanna be in. I think young people have ambitions to be the doctors, the lawyers, all the good jobs, but have 0 stamina, like, intellectual stamina and probably even other types of but what I deal with is, like, their brain development, their, like, growth in that way. It's like they don't wanna do any work. They just
Mhm.
want things to be, like, instantaneous, and so, like, I think from my old age and old years and wisdom, it's like you have to be bored, you have to be able to solve problems, kind of without asking.
My goodness, it's so much. So, one thing that I notice as a coach is that any little, like, minor inconvenience or when something doesn't go their way, it is crash out city. And it could be very minor things or minor to us, right? Because I guess, as kids, their frontal lobe isn't fully developed, right? So I guess, it could feel like the sky's falling, but like everything is not a hill that you have to die on, and everything that happens to you is not life threatening. Like, I don't know, I just feel like a lot of young people, they have these things happen to them, and to them it seems like the end of the world, but to us adults, we're like,
Huh, not that deep.
it's not that deep.
Yeah.
And I think that you have to kind of build up, like, resilience, right? Like, nothing in this world, nothing in this life is going to come easy for the most part, unless you're incredibly lucky, but they have no resilience. They have no resilience. They
Yep.
fold like lawn chairs at the most minor inconveniences, and, that kinda scares me because, like, I done been through some stuff, and I can't imagine crashing out every time something didn't go my way. Imagine the
Yeah.
world we would live in if every time something didn't go somebody's way, they just crashed out, went
Tantrum.
outside, and threw a tantrum, like, and so I think that we just need to build that muscle. They need to build that muscle that's like, I'm okay. Like, take a step back. Life is gonna happen. Things are gonna happen. Sometimes you just gotta take a step back. Hell, go in your closet, scream if you have to, but it's not the end of the world. It's
Yep.
not the end of the world. You gonna live to fight another day. You still breathing. Nobody died. Like, it's not that deep. Life gonna life.
Life is gonna life.
Life is gonna life, and somebody said, "We fall down, but we get up."
Somebody.
Had to s somebody.
Somebody.
The message is still valid even
The
though.
message is very valid.
Yeah.
And I think, like, that's what college teaches you, like,
Mhm.
to be resilient. If you've never had to face a challenge on your own before, college is gonna do it. Like, if you like, I was a kid who never really had any hardship, I guess, in a sense, like, I was like, my upbringing wasn't particularly difficult, but and I didn't really have challenges or, like, want for anything as a kid or a teenager. But going to college, you're alone, like, there's no, like, it's not a default thing to, like, go through your parent to help you out. It's like, this is your problem that you have to figure out. My mother was hundreds of miles away. So, like, even the smallest things, like, I need to mail something, okay, how do I do that? I'm not gonna like, I mean, some people you could call your mom and say, "Mom, how do I mail this?" But you could also take yourself down to the post office and talk to the like, stuff like that, I don't think young people are, like, prepared to do. Like, if they don't know how to do something, they're gonna say, "Chat, how do I mail a package?" They're not gonna go down to the post office and, like, say, "I need to," you know what I mean? Like, solving a problem through, like, experience versus just asking the internet or asking, like, not having to interact with anybody. They want the least amount of friction of
Resistance.
human interaction possible, and that's just not how the world works. At least
Man,
not
listen,
completely. The AI hasn't taken over everything just yet.
nothing prepares you for life, for confrontations quite like ask anybody who been to a HBCU that had to walk in that financial aid office
Mhm.
and sit across from one of them people. I
Children of God is what they are.
My God, why do we gotta fight so hard to get what's ours at HBCUs, man? They be well, we know some of them be pocketing that money. That's why they don't want to give it up. But that's a different story
Hello.
for a different day.
But
But no,
calling to get some information and you just hear marching band music for 30 minutes?
listen.
That builds character.
But you know what though? This is I have a bit of an anecdote because I feel like
Okay.
it's very timely, I guess, for the way this conversation just went. So my freshman year, at Virginia State. Now, mind you, like again, I was going into college. I was supposed to play basketball. So the plan was to go play on an athletic scholarship or go to school
Mhm.
on an athletic scholarship. Things happened that didn't work out. These knees, they did all they could. Okay. But anyway, so like, things kind of changed and VSU threw some money my way, but it didn't cover everything. And so my mom ended up having to like come out of pocket a little bit. And long story less long, she couldn't afford it. Like she tried, couldn't afford it. I couldn't afford it. Um, and so when I went home for winter break after fall semester, VSU was like, listen, you can't come back unless you got $14,000. And I looked at my mama looked at me, and I was like, well, guys, although we've go to the it was a wrap.
Please.
And so I spent all winter break. I was home. VSU at the time, the fall break and the winter break was together. So like we went home for Thanksgiving and we didn't come back until like MLK Day or after MLK Day or something like that. It was long, like 2 months. And so I spent that whole 2 months trying to figure out what I was gonna do. And like I just knew that $14,000 wasn't just gonna fall out of the sky. Like nobody in my family had $14,000 laying around trying to call financial aid. Nobody was helping.
Right.
And so I kinda just accepted the fact that I wasn't going back. I was like, "I'm just gonna go to community college, try to figure it out." I wasn't gonna quit on my, like, dream to get my degree, but I knew that the journey was probably gonna look a little bit different, like, it just probably wasn't gonna happen at VSU, it just is what it is. And so, when it was time to go back for spring semester, while everybody was going back to move into their dorm, I was going back to move out. So I went back, I went to go withdraw from my classes, and I went down to admissions or whatever, and I was like, I'm withdrawing." They was like, "You withdrawing?" I was like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm withdrawing. Like, I don't have 14 grand." And they was like, "Give me 1 second." Maybe like 10 minutes later came back and was like, "Yeah, you are taken care of. Everything is everything. You got a scholarship. We gave you a grant. Everything's good. You even got like $5,000 left over if you want to get books and all of that." And I was like, "So you mean to tell me I've been crying for 2 months trying to figure out what I was gonna do. I thought it was over for me, and I come back down here. It took me moving my stuff out of the dorm for you to tell me, 'Oh, we got
Yep.
money for you.'"
Yep. That's how it happens. Legit, that is how it happens, and it's like a it's like a magic. It's like a weird spiritual, magical thing that happens when you be just about to give up, and then them people down in the financial aid office be like,
Children of
"Oh,
God.
well, actually, there's this thing available, and I just applied it to your account, so yeah."
It's just like,
Ever so casual.
my God, we love our HBCUs though. Virginia State, I
Yes.
love you. You make me work for it, but I love you. I love you dearly.
Yeah.
I love you. Leo loves you too. Leo loves you too. So, let's see. Okay. Do you what would you say that, people our age what would you say that people our age should forgive ourselves for?
Give ourselves for? Say, like, I don't know, not being the things we expected to be, for sure. I think we should forgive ourselves for, like, the pandemic, first of all. Like, COVID ate my 20s. I don't care. So I think sometimes I think about, like, where I thought I would be at this point, and again, we're not that old. That's the thing. I'm not that old. At least I don't think. Like, let my students tell it I'm ancient because I was born in 1900s, but I don't feel like I'm an old person. So, like, I think we should forgive ourselves for not being like what we thought. The images we saw when we were growing up of like what our 30s would look like, we need to forgive ourselves for that.
Yeah,
Like, I think a big part of what I saw as success for my 30s would be like the family, like a house and a kids and like this very robust social life and family life and work life. Like, I thought I would have it all, and nobody has it all. Nobody has 100% in every domain, and I think we should forgive ourselves for that because it's not normal. And also the circumstances that we've gone through in our 20s were not normal. Like, COVID affected all of us differently, but I think there's something to be said about those people who were like 25, like
yeah.
just getting started career-wise when the pandemic hit, and then like was, I feel like, stunted or laid off or whatever. Like, you had to essentially restart. So yeah, we should forgive ourselves for this. We've been through a lot.
We
So
have been
what
through a
say
lot.
you?
It's been a journey, you hear me?
Of Discover.
Journey of discover. I think we should forgive ourselves for not having it feeling like we don't have it figured out. I think that a lot of people like, when we were growing up, when people would say stuff, at least for me, this was my experience, I can't speak for everybody, but people made it just sound so easy, like, "Yeah, you just do this, you do this, you do this, and then you're good, and then you yeah." It ain't that. They left out a lot, y'all. Like, they left out a lot of the nitty-gritty, a lot of the details that we needed. It's not so simple. It's not so simple. And so I think, we need to forgive ourselves for making mistakes because we didn't even have all the answers to begin with. A lot of us didn't even have all the tools and the resources to begin with. So I think, just because you don't have it all figured out, regardless of where you are in life, forgive yourself because it's all of our first time living. It's all of our first time on this planet. It's all of our first time doing this, and we doing it with no manual, no script, no none of that. And so we need to be more forgiving. Like we can't we need to stop beating ourselves up for not having the house, for not having the kids, for not making $150,000 a year. Like we need to forgive ourselves for that. Especially the people who look like us.
Yeah, because that's on purpose that we don't.
Period.
There's
Period.
some
Pooh.
people working real hard so that we don't. And that's another reason I think why we're here, why you and I are here having this conversation, because there are people in boardrooms, in meetings, on email threads that are doing everything that they can so that Black and brown people are not getting educated,
Yeah.
are not going into fields that will make them financially stable. Like they don't want this to happen. They don't want these conversations to happen, which is why we have to have them anyway.
Absolutely. It's like all of the people out there, all of the kids out there who say like college ain't for me. I don't want to go to college. That's exactly what they want you to say.
Precisely.
That's exactly what they want you to say. They literally bet on us weeding ourselves out. Period. And so while you may have a dream, while you may have a goal that doesn't necessarily require you to go to college, I don't think that I said this before and I say it again. College is about much, much, much more than just getting a piece of paper when you walk across the stage at the
Yeah.
end. It's a lot more. It's a lot more. I would not be the person I am had I not gone to college. Whether it was Virginia State or any other college, I would not be the person I am. I would not have the resilience I have. I would not see the world the way I see the world had I not gone to college.
Yeah.
There are people that I've met, things that I've learned. It wouldn't have happened. It wouldn't have happened. And I'm at the point now where I'm like, I don't even know if I want to use my degree no more, but I'm still glad I got it.
But you got it.
I got it. I did the step.
You did the step.
I did the steps. So don't count college out. The experience, I promise you, the experience is worth it. If you go to the right school, if you go to the right university, it will be worth it. I
Mhm.
guarantee you. And at the end of the day, you only gonna get out of it what you put into it.
That's a
Period.
word.
Point blank.
That's a word.
And that's the bottom line because I said so. And again, that's coming from somebody who don't even like school like that. I don't even like
Right.
school like that.
Just do your little time.
Did my bit.
Take it a class at a time, a semester at a time, an assignment at a time. And before you know it, you're gonna be old like us, bad knees like us.
Period. You know what else? Before we get out of here, you know what else I would have told 18-year-old me?
What?
Don't spend all your little Trojan dollars at once.
How many Trojan dollars did you have?
Not enough.
Like 20, 50, 100, like, what was it
I think
giving?
my freshman year meal plan was like 18 swipes a week, I think.
Mhm.
Now the Trojan dollars, I think it was like 50.
See, we had to get the unlimited meal plan. So you had to as a freshman, everybody had to get unlimited swipes in the caf, but we had 25 Panther Paw dollars. And for whatever reason, I assumed that it was $25 a week. Again, I was an allowance kid. I was like, okay, 25 a week, that's fine. I can make that shake. I spent it all. But by Wednesday, classes started on Monday. By Wednesday morning, I was out of money.
You was out there like you had a black card, just
I just in my mind, it was gonna be refreshed every week. I was like, "It's 25 a week, right?" And the lady at the cafe at Jasmine's was like, "No, that's what you have for the semester. So unless you add more money on that card, you're done." And I was like,
listen, if you got dollars, whatever the dollars is called at your university, at your institution,
"Yeah,
make sure you
use
read
them
the fine
wisely.
print. If they don't
Where
refresh
spend
every
that
week,
money?"
baby. It's not $50 a week. It's not. It's not. So you can't be buying the wings every day
Mm.
thinking it's gonna last forever like Keith Sweat. It's not. It's not.
For me, it was the smoothies. It was the smoothies and the cookies to go with the smoothies, of
You know,
course.
we had a smoothie spot too. But when they put Chick-fil-A and Subway on that campus, my little Trojan dollars was going right to them
Immediately.
immediately.
That's a good one. That is actually good advice. Read the fine print,
Read the T&C.
even if you don't want to. Sometimes
Read the T&C. Terms and conditions for those in the back.
that is a actually, what is if you do that that's for they trying. They was trying to garnish your wages now.
You gonna have to come get it, baby. I look.
I'm so happy they said, "Never mind,"
You gonna have to come get it. You hear me? Come get it. Jesus paid it all.
and did,
Jesus paid it all for me.
as far as I'm concerned. Shouldn't have gave it to
Period.
me in the first place.
Well, that wraps up another amazing episode of the unofficial transcript
Yeah.
featuring Leo,
Sorry, guys. Hopefully, he's not too much of a disruption. We made
featuring
it a long time without
Leo.
any
We love y'all. We appreciate y'all rocking with us. Hopefully, we are able to help at least one person. If this touched you, please subscribe, like, follow, do all the things. Really, our goal is to just help. Both of us really just have a deep passion for helping young people and giving them the tools and the resources and the advice. Everything that the world doesn't tell you to be successful. That's our goal. We passionate about it. We love it. And we gonna keep rocking with y'all every week as long as y'all rock with us. So stay locked in,
Yeah.
stay tuned.
Tell a friend to tell a friend.
We love y'all.
Bye.